Sometimes we all need a little help. Life is busy, unpredictable, and at times frightening. On top of that, you may have habits that hold you back. Bad habits like smoking, worrying, drinking too much, or eating too much. And what about weird things that you experience but really have no explanation for? Maybe you're afraid of water or flying, but you don't know why. What about panic attacks or PTSD? Look, all kinds of things can weigh on your mind. That's nothing new. But what may be new to you is that hypnosis can help. I'm Angie J. Hernandez, Certified Hypnotherapist, and I'm the host of the podcast Past Life Traveler. And I have a private practice. If you would like to schedule an appointment with me, message me at facebook.com/Indiana Hypnosis Center. That's facebook.com/Indiana Hypnosis Center. Bad habits don't have to last forever. Get rid of those bad habits with hypnosis. Hey, past life travelers. I'm your host, Angie J. Hernandez. My guest today is Tansy. Tansy is here to explore her past life wherever it takes her. She's willing and has a knowing about other past lives without ever having been hypnotized. Now, let's take a moment to welcome Hawaii, New Mexico, and Spain to our family of travelers. I'm so glad you're out there listening, and I send you much gratitude for joining us. Don't forget to share the podcast with others that will like it. As we started with Tansy, she really wanted to find out why she's always felt apart from others. Oh, and if you hear me laugh a little, it's because one of her cats bounced across the screen right in the middle of what we were doing. And now, let's get started. Hey, past life travelers. I'm your host, Angie J. Hernandez, and today I'm here with Tansy. Tansy, she contacted me through email, which is okay to do. Just understand that, like her, you know what? I don't look at my email only about once a day, and I don't receive notifications about new emails. I don't like so many notifications. So if you email me, please be patient. Tansy was patient, and she's here with me today. Tansy, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to come on.
Well, I've always been interested in past lives and reincarnation. The concept is fascinating to me. And I've had several sort of spontaneous, what I would think might be past life memories, as well as an incident when I was a child that have reinforced my interest in it. And when I discovered Angie's podcast, I really got interested. It was so much fun listening to people get regressed and see how they could relate what was going on in their current life with something that may have happened in the past and get some great insights from that. So I thought, well, I'd like to do that too.
And she came on at a perfect time. We were just waiting for her. It was a fortuitous time for me. All right. So like I tell all my guests, you might already know since you've listened to the podcast a little, but this is a lot for the listeners too. Often people, even hypnotherapists that have been hypnotized many times, when they're regressed, they'll often come out and say, I think I just made that up. It came out of my imagination. And the way it was explained to me is that all our past life memories and all memories, deja vu, all the things related to us are held, if you would think of it, as in the cloud, just like we put information and pictures in the cloud through computers. And in the cloud is in the spirit world for us. So the only way they have to send it to us, they can't email us. They can only send it to us through our imagination. So when you're living a past life, recalling it, experiencing it, it does come through your imagination, but not because you made it up, because it's being sent to you. So I will ask you that if that idea comes to you, I think I'm making this up, that you just gently push that aside and just tell me what's happening, and we'll take you along for the ride.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready if you are.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's get started. And you can close your eyes, glasses on or off, whatever you prefer.
Angie is now taking her guest into hypnosis. This is not safe for drivers. Now, back to the journey.
Very good. Now let's imagine this different scenario of looking ahead of yourself and seeing that you're in a long, long hallway. And along the left wall, you see many, many doors all the way down. And on the right wall, you also see doors. They might all be different colors. They might all be different styles, but doors all the way down. And under your feet, you feel that soft, cushy, plush carpet. Let's take a few steps into the hallway, and I want you to notice that as you do, that carpet gets thicker and deeper and even softer under your feet. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Deep, deep sleep. Now, Tansy, look around at all those doors, and I'd like you to search out and find the door where you see some light spilling around the edge. And just let me know when you've found that.
I have.
Good. What color is the light?
It's blue.
Blue. And how does the blue light feel to your physical body?
Oh, it feels welcoming and kind of inspiring.
That's cool. Welcoming and inspiring. And put your palms on the door and tell me what emotion you feel coming through the door. Comfort. Yeah. Perfect. Now notice that on the wall beside the door, you're going to see the key hanging there that unlocks it. In a moment, but not quite yet, I'll ask you to take down the key, unlock and open the door, but don't go in the room yet. I just want you to stand on the threshold and feel that blue light for a moment. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Take down that key, unlock and open the door, and just stand in the blue light. How does that feel to you?
That feels great.
Yeah. Is that even more calming to you?
Yeah, it's just a really, really nice light.
Nice. And I like that it's blue. Yeah. Okay. It's time to go in. 1, 2, 3. Step into the room and notice that there's a nice comfy chair for you. Cushy, just your size, just your comfort zone. Just go ahead and sit in the chair. And tell me, Tansy, what is that thing in your life that maybe has no explanation that you'd like to know more about?
Well, I think there's kind of been a theme in my life that despite friendships and achievements and accomplishments and satisfaction with doing things, I've always felt kind of apart and alone, solitary. Even when I was married, I felt like that. And, I'm not unhappy and I'm not, but that feeling persists, and it just seems like it's been woven through every part of my life, and I'm curious as to where it came from and why it's here.
So that feeling of apart and alone. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to let that feeling come up strongly as you can in your mind. And when you feel it in your mind, give me a couple of phrases of how it feels to think that and feel that.
Isolated, peripheral to others' lives.
Okay. And now allow it to stretch out also to your physical body. Where do you feel it in your physical body?
In my belly.
How does it feel in your belly?
Kind of like a churning sensation.
What else?
Certain tightness. And at the same time, it's traveling up a little bit my chest towards my heart.
The tightness part. So what I'm going to ask you to do is repeat the phrases I tell you in a moment over and over in your mind until something appears in front of you. And that could be a bridge, might be a tunnel or a cave, or maybe just a pathway. And when that happens, let me know. So here are the phrases. Just repeat these in your mind. I feel apart and alone. It makes me feel sad, isolated. I feel peripheral to others' lives. And there's this churning sensation in my belly. A certain tightness that goes into my chest and into my heart. Just keep repeating those phrases over and over to yourself. And let me know when that something opens up in front of you.
It's there.
What is it?
Well, the room I'm in is dark, and this is like a white sort of lit area. It's almost like it's paved with stones and tall columns, like a colonnade or something. And it's leading to outside.
All right. Go ahead and follow that paved road or path. I'm not sure which it is. Sounds like a road or a street. And when you get to the other side, tell me what you're wearing on your feet.
I'm wearing blue silk shoes with a broad ribbon tie over them and sort of, not high heels, maybe like an inch high.
With a small heel. And look up your body. What are you wearing on your body?
I'm wearing a long dress that extends down to my shoes, and it also is blue to match the shoes, and it has kind of, like an eyelet, lacy texture to the fabric, and it's tight-fitting around my chest, and it has kind of those mutton chop sleeves, big at the shoulders that get tight around the bottom part of your arms.
Yes, the puffy shoulder part.
Right.
What's your name?
Junine.
Junine. That's an interesting name. What's your last name, Junine?
I think it's Laporte.
Laporte? Okay. And how old are you?
Looks like I might be in my early 20s.
Okay. And what's the year?
1787.
1787. Where are you in 1787?
I'm in Europe somewhere. It might be France or it might be Belgium.
Tell the difference between those two. If you look, are there stores or something around you?
No, at the moment I'm kind of in a park.
Oh, in a
park like a garden area, It's well manicured and has, large trees, and there's, other people walking around.
So a park kind of where people promenade?
Yes.
Okay. What time of day is it?
It's mid-afternoon.
Are you alone or with others?
I'm with a man. I think he's my brother.
What's his name? John. What nationality are the two of you?
I think we're French.
1, 2, 3. What's your nationality?
French.
French. Yeah. So where you are in that park, is that close to your home?
It's not too far.
But you live in this place?
Yes, it's close enough to walk to.
What's the name of the city?
Lyon.
Lyon. Is it pretty there?
It is pretty nice. Yeah, there's a lot of trees, and it seems pretty well kept up.
Good. And why are we here? What's special about today, Junine?
Nothing really. I think I just wanted to get out and take a walk, and my brother came with me.
You probably are required to have someone with you, are you not?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
No. So you have to have a chaperone, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Does your brother usually go, or do you have someone who's hired to go with you sometimes?
Well, he lives at home, too, and he's usually around, so I'll pick him if he's there. If not, we do have some servants in the house that could go with me.
Yeah. So what else is happening today? What time of year is it?
I'd say it's late summer.
Late summer. What else might be happening today that would be interesting?
Gosh, it's just an ordinary day walking in the park. Kind of boring, actually, Nothing special going on, just wanting to get out of the house.
So I'm wondering if you have like certain days where you pay calls to other people, or you have certain days where there might be parties.
There are days like that, but this is just, in the afternoons. This is one of the afternoons I have to myself.
Nice. Do you like those?
I do. I really don't enjoy all the visiting and having to go to and fro and gossip and stuff.
Not your cup of tea?
Nope.
I bet most of the young women do like to do that in your time.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yep.
My time too. Okay. Well, then I'm going to ask you to fast forward to the next important event in Janine's life. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Be there. Feel the experience. Tell me what's happening.
I have just given birth to a child.
Nice. Is this your first child?
Yes.
Boy or girl?
It's a boy.
And what are you naming him?
I'm going to name him Jacques.
Is his father around?
Yes, he's in the other room.
That's how that works in those days. Do you live in the same place? Do you still live in Lyon?
Yes, we're still living here.
Well, it's a special day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big, healthy boy?
He's actually kind of small. I think he's premature.
Oh, he might have come a little early?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But is he healthy? Are you going to be able to just raise him up along?
I think so. Yeah, he seems fine at this point.
It doesn't matter in the long run if they're a little early, as long as they get through those first months.
Right.
Yeah. What else is going to happen today?
A lot of people are going to be coming in and out, I think, to see me and the baby, because he's just been born.
Are you in your own home?
Yes, I'm in my own home.
Do you live close by where your parents live?
It's within carriage distance, not walking distance per se.
But you're not on top of one another?
No, not at all.
Are you close to your parents?
Not really. I never really got to know either of them very well, but my husband works for my father.
Oh, what kind of work do they do?
It's something to do with boats. I don't know if it's like an import-export thing, but, they tend to travel pretty frequently and to other places and bring goods back.
So they go by ship?
Yes.
Travel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what kind of goods do they bring back? Do you ever get to pick first?
Well, they often bring back fabric, which is nice for dresses.
They're bringing back silks and things like that?
Yes, a lot of, I wouldn't say exotic, more fabrics that are more for people who can afford them.
People fabrics.
Rich people fabrics, yeah.
Are you considered among the rich people?
I'd say we're not extremely wealthy, but we run in that.
I have loved horses since I was a little girl. On long road trips, I would look out the car window and imagine I was riding my horse along the side of the road. I spent many an hour imaginary riding. And that's why I love Phoenix Rising Equine Rescue. They provide loving care needed to horses that are abandoned, neglected, or abused. These horses arrive showing ribs and spines or in medical need. But with love and proper vet care, the horse can regain her health and vitality. But Phoenix Rising doesn't stop there. When a horse is healthy, they get special training to help them find their footing and be ready for adoption, because the goal is to find a forever home for any horse who can be rehabbed. It's not a small thing to rescue a horse. Besides the time and love it takes, the expenses really add up. Did you know that it costs $225 just for 1 month's food? But horses need more than that. They need regular hoof care. That's trimming and shoes every 6 weeks. And imagine the cost of vet care. Just their vaccinations are $150, and many need surgery. Phoenix Rising needs so much support. I would love to see them be able to help more horses who need them, and you can help. Just go to their website, helpsavehorses.org, and click on their donation catalog. You can choose to buy a week's worth of food, hoof care, or even a horse's bedding. Want to support medical care for a horse? Your gift can pay for everything from vaccinations to dental care to surgery. There are even more ways to gift Phoenix Rising. All you need is a heart for animals. I support Phoenix Rising, and I hope you will too. Remember, the site is helpsavehorses.org. Help Save Horses. I'll place a link in the show notes for you. And thank you for supporting one of the most worthwhile charities.
Circle.
So it sounds like you have a good life.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, what do you wish for that you don't have yet?
I was just thinking, I just want to run away.
You just want to run away?
Yep.
Where would you run away to if you could?
Oh, I'd just like to get on one of those ships and just go somewhere else, like maybe go to the New World, see what that was like. Just see what just see what it felt like to be out at sea and different people in different places.
Did you ever ask if you could go?
Yes. That was a big no. No women.
And the men didn't want you along very much.
No, they probably considered pretty useless from their perspective, and from the captain's perspective, just too much of a distraction for the.
Sometimes I've read in some places they consider women bad luck on ships.
Well, I could see why, because if it's a place full of men, and they are inclined towards wanting to be with women if there's only one or two on board.
Yeah, be a disruption, right?
It definitely would be, so.
Well, maybe you'll, in your life, get to take some short trips. They won't be quite as what you asked for, but they'll still be exciting.
That would be nice. Yeah, that was surprised me that I had that thought.
Interesting. Kind of a wonder at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can understand that. Absolutely. Well, let's fast forward to another important day for you. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Be there. Hear what you hear. See what you see. What's happening today, Junine?
My husband has just moved out. He's left me for another woman. And, we're getting a divorce, of course. And so he's not moving in with her yet. But that's the reason for it. He's been seeing her on the side, I guess, for a couple of years. And I recently discovered it.
And you can divorce in those days? What
Yes.
year is it?
Well, now it's a little past 1800.
Okay.
Maybe 1812, I'm thinking.
1812. Okay. And divorce is allowed?
Under certain circumstances.
Is that a French thing?
I don't know. I just know that if we don't want the marriage to be a marriage anymore, we can do it, and it might be something that's just done with money. I don't know.
That sounds very French. So how are you going to be supported now financially?
Well, he'll have to continue to provide support for me, and for my son, although he's, getting ready to join the company and, start a life of his own. Yeah, he'll have to continue to pay support, but he's fine with that.
Well, that's good. He's probably has enough money that's not such a big deal to him.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And what are your feelings? Are you the scorned woman, or?
Well, I'm angry, not so much that he's leaving, because, it was kind of an arranged marriage in a way. I mean, it wasn't like I was deeply in love with him or anything. He was okay, he was a good provider and all of that, but, we'd never really had a lot in common, but we had a comfortable life. It was more that kind of the feeling of being lied to, and I feel a little humiliated, because it's something that other people will find out about.
Sure.
But, on the other hand, I'm relieved because I'd be fine without him.
Yeah. Do you still have to do a lot of social things?
Yes.
Yeah. Will that continue even if you're divorced?
Not as much, because despite the fact that it can be arranged, there's a certain stigma to it. Yeah.
That's what I wondered about.
But that's okay with me, too.
That's what I was going to ask next. Does that
Yeah.
burden, or does that feel like goodness?
No. I mean, I'm going to be resituated into a smaller house, and I think we're going to sell this one, but I'm going to go into a smaller one that we own. And I really like this place because it's a little more secluded, and there's a room in it it's like a work room. I would think, I don't know if somebody used it as a nursery, like a plant nursery or something like that, but it's just completely filled with windows, and I just feel like it'll be a great place to be in, maybe to paint or, to do something creative.
Yeah, you like to paint?
I paint a little bit, but I've never really gotten into it too much, because there's always other obligations.
Sure. Is there a place where someone of your gender and age could study if you wanted to study art or something else?
I would have to be privately tutored.
Are you interested in anything like that?
No, I think I'd really like to just explore it on my own. I'm kind of excited by the possibility of being able to be on my own and not have to live with somebody else that's supporting me, even though I am being supported, but to have my own space and to decide when I want to get up and what I want to do and have a reduction in all the social obligations. That's kind of a blessing.
Yeah, sounds like you're a little excited to get this going.
I am, actually, yeah.
And what about travel? You used to have dreams of travel. Is that something you can do now?
Again, I couldn't really do it unless I had somebody with me.
Yes.
A companion of some sort, so it's too early for me to think about that. As you mentioned it, it's possible I could hire somebody to travel with me.
Hired companions were pretty common in that period, were they not?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, especially young ladies who also wanted to travel but had no means. I believe they often did that. Or older ladies who needed a little and no work expectations.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
All I know is what I read. If I was there during that lifetime, I don't remember.
Yeah, all I know is that right now I'm feeling like there's a lot of possibilities.
That's cool. It's nice to feel possibilities ahead of you, positive ones. And well, then let's fast forward into some of those. What's the next big day for you? 1, 2, and 3. Be there.
Okay. Well, I'm older now, and I do have a companion because I did want to get out and about. So I've hired someone. It's a younger woman. She's a lot of fun. She's just kind of mischievous. She's a good companion, and she likes to read, and she likes to try new things. So she's a good fit for me. And we've taken a few little trips, around France, but I finally convinced my father to find a way for me to travel to the New World. So I'm about to depart on that voyage, and I'm very excited about it.
And with your companion as well, correct?
That's right.
And what is her name?
Her name is Maribel.
And I assume she's also French?
Yes.
And so when you go to the New World, what city do you land in?
Well, we're going to go to Canada. It'll be, I don't know what the name is, but in present day would be Ontario.
Ontario?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know if you landed at Newfoundland or more north of there. It sounds like more north of there.
I don't really, geographically, I don't know where Newfoundland is in relationship to Eastern Canada. I know that Ontario is in Eastern Canada.
Yeah, I think Newfoundland is closer to Maine.
Okay.
At least in my mind, I could be wrong, but I believe it's closer to Maine, and then a little bit north of that would be on Ontario. I only think of Newfoundland because of the dogs. That's all my knowledge. Oh, that sounds very cool. When do you leave for that trip?
Well, we're getting ready to get on the ship right now.
Oh, very cool. What's the name of the ship? Look at the sign. See what her name is.
It says Her Merry Delight.
Merry, Merry?
Yes.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. Well, let's fast forward a little bit on your journey and see how you like it. Is this a passenger ship? Is it one of the trade ships?
It's a passenger ship.
Okay. Let's fast forward just a little bit into your journey. 1, 2, and 3. Be there.
Okay.
What's happening?
Well, I'm staying at a place in town, in Ontario. To me, it seems like a regular city or town. I didn't really know what to expect, I mean, there's so many stories, about savages and, living out of huts and things like that. But it's a fairly nice city, and, it's well populated and really busy.
Do they speak a lot of French in that city?
Yes, they do.
So can you speak both, either English or French?
No, I just speak French. That's why I decided to go there.
And in the city, are there a lot of English speakers, or is it French?
There are some English speakers, yeah, because it's rather cosmopolitan, compared to where I was living.
But mostly people do speak French, so you have no trouble.
No trouble.
Yeah. And what are you doing there? What's fun to do there?
Well, at the moment, I'm staying with a family that my father knows, and my companion and I are just venturing out during the day to take walks or things like that. Tonight we're probably going to go to the theater because there's a new opera, a local opera that the people I'm staying with would like to see.
That sounds like fun.
I don't really want to go. No, it's definitely me, but I'm always kind of looking for the opportunities where I can just get out of the house and not have to be socializing. And thankfully, there's not as strong or rigid a social structure there, of expectation of having to go around do visits and things like that.
Right. Well, and that's kind of days gone by in the new world, I think.
Yeah, new things, new ways of doing things.
Yeah. In the new world, everything's new, so it's okay to break the norm. I think that's a little harder in the old country.
Absolutely, yep.
And the opera tonight, what language is that in?
That'll be in Italian, but it doesn't really matter because everybody's only going to show themselves off to everybody else.
So it'll all be pre-show, from show, after show.
Exactly, yeah.
Got it. Well, you do what you gotta do. It's not your way, but they have their lives.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So how much longer will you be staying before you go home?
Well, I'd kind of like to stay. I've been talking with the people I'm living with about the idea of maybe opening up a shop of some kind. My father imports a lot of, really expensive fabrics, and I could be an outlet for that and hire a seamstress, and we could do, we could make clothing, for women and make repairs and things like that. So that idea has kind of been forming in my mind as a way for me to stay there and not have to go back.
Would your father allow that? That's kind of commerce.
Well, I think it's the new world.
But father is old world.
Yeah, but I think, the fact that I'd be over there and I wouldn't be doing it, back where everybody he knows could see me, it might be okay. And, especially if I were owning the shop, not necessarily working in the shop.
I see. And whenever he visited, you'd definitely not be working in the shop.
Oh, no, no, no. I'd be taking tea, and eating little pastries and things like that.
Well,
but I think it would be fun because, I'd get to meet new people, and I really, because the city is larger than where I'm from, I'm really enjoying all the street traffic and just the diversity of people. And it always seems like there's something going on that's interesting to look at or, pay attention to. So I'd like to be a part of that.
That sounds really cool. Are you into fashion?
No. I'm aware of it, but I think that since if I specialized in having the fabric, and then I had seamstresses and people who could create the fashions, then it's not so much that I would have to be the person that was designing things or anything like that. Just supplying them to women who wanted to be more haute couture than the New World normally provides.
And you can get ideas like, I don't remember what it's like. How do you get ideas from the big fashion houses? Do they send like little dolls or drawings or... you can get those, can you not?
There are drawings, yeah. And of course, there's a lot of, back and forth, between the New World and the Old World. So people bring news and people wear fashions that, from other places. And so there's a lot of just seeing, what other people are doing kind of thing.
Sure. So whoever does your designing can stay on top of things.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah. And I'm sure in the New World, everybody wants to promote themselves as being very fashionable, just like the old.
Yes, because there's always this fear that they're not quite keeping up.
Right. They have to have something to go to the opera with.
Well, exactly.
That sounds like a cool idea. So let's fast forward into the next big event in your life and see what's happened. 1, 2, and 3. Be there. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I have established my shop, and it's been in operation for about 6 or 7 years. I'm really liking it. And I have a place that I'm living on my own now. I don't live with my father's friends anymore. But actually, I'm living not too far from the shop. It's a small, it's kind of a rooming house in a way, I guess. Other people live there. But I'm able to walk back and forth from work. And, I'm hoping to get enough money at some point to buy my own little place. But this is fine for now. And I'm locking up the shop and getting ready to head home. It's kind of twilight time, and I'm noticing that the streets are really cobbled and the stones are kind of grayish blue and a little wet from recent rain. So I'm scurrying along, and I am by myself. And as I walking past a couple of buildings, a couple of thugs or brigands are in this alleyway, and they kind of dash out and grab me as I'm walking by. They're trying to steal my purse, which they succeed in doing because they basically just cut it off. But they beat me up to sort of end their whole scenario, and so I can't just chase after them or call out as they run away. So they kind of just leave me laying there on these cobblestones, the pavement, near this little alleyway entrance.
What's happening next?
I'm just kind of laying there and drifting in and out of consciousness, and some people discover me, and one of them recognizes me from the shop, and she and her husband take me to their house, which is not too far from there, and bring me inside, and then they call a doctor to try and, see what he can do about all the bruises and everything.
And what's really wrong? Is it like, do you have broken bones? Did you have a concussion?
Well, they kicked me a lot in my sides and stomach, so I've got a lot of bruising there, and I'm bleeding in several places from where they hit me with like a truncheon. It's possible I may have some broken bones, waiting for the doctor to come and examine me, but I'm just kind of out of it at this state.
Sure. How lucky that these folks found you and for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move forward in that day and see what the doctor says.
Okay, so he's come and they've kind of cleaned me off, washed off the blood and everything, and he's confirmed that one of my ribs is broken, and he thinks that I might have some internal injury from the kicking, but he can't be sure at this point. He says really at this stage, all that he can do is just try to make me comfortable and see if I heal naturally.
Yeah, he doesn't have any modern kind of tools to know. Yeah. So are you going to have to stay where you are, not be moved?
Yes. They do. I have woken up enough to tell them who I am, and they've decided to keep me there because they're concerned about me, and I think they felt like they could provide better care than if I was, just at a room in my my house that I shared with other people.
They're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Well, then let's fast forward a period of time and tell me what's happening. 1, 2, and 3.
I've recovered from the attack, but it's left me with a limp, and it's also scared me a little bit, kind of dampened my desire to go out and have adventures or even be outside very much. But I have returned to my daily routine, but it's like the joy has sort of been sucked out of my life.
Do you think you can find a way to get that back? Is the shop as fulfilling?
Well, I'm even sort of losing interest in that. I think I'm depressed, that the whole thing happened, and
Sure.
I'm just in this state where I don't feel very hopeful. I don't feel very engaged in my daily life and what I'm doing. I don't have any interest in talking to people or seeing other people, but, I'm taking care of whatever responsibilities I have. But there's a part of me that just really wants to die.
Dear, you are depressed. How old are you now?
I'm 47.
A lot of life ahead of you, Junine.
Well, maybe. It doesn't, I don't know, I just can't see a future for me right now. I don't feel safe, walking on my own out on the streets anymore. I don't have a husband. My son and my family are back in France, and of course I know ladies, over here in Ontario, but I don't have any real good or close friends. So, without feeling like I can just go out on a little adventure or wander about on my own safely, I don't really see much else for me to do except just carry on day by day, and it's not a very exciting prospect.
Well, this life is already lived, so I can't put out suggestions. Will do no good. You've already lived this life, so let's just progress on until a day that's important to you. 1, 2, and 3.
Well, I'm lying in bed, and I have decided to try and end my life.
How would you do that?
I have been taking laudanum, and I'm going to take a large dose of it and see if that just does away with me.
Okay. And is this the final day of your life?
Yes, it is.
All right. So I'm just going to ask you to do what needs to be done, and when you feel the soul separate from the body, let me know.
Okay, that soul is gladly taking flight.
Go with it. I'd like you to go with it into the spirit world. And you may see others that have gone before you, that were close to you. They may come to greet you. Maybe angels and light people, but go along with them. And I'd like you to ask the angels and light people, Junine, to look back on your life on a soul level and look for any little parts of the soul that are separated out and remain stuck. And it might be stuck in a trauma, might be stuck in a strong emotion. And let me know when they found those.
Yeah, there's a big chunk just laying out in that alleyway where I got attacked.
Sure. Ask them to bring that one and any others from Janine's lifetime. Bring all those in and ask them to clean them, to heal them, and cover them with a blanket of forgiveness, and then reunite them with the soul. And as they put the soul back together, you may even feel the urge to reach out and touch the aura and smooth it out, so it's nice and smooth and comfortable again.
It's like a little glowing sun.
How does it feel to you now?
It feels great. All the sadness and hopelessness I was feeling in that life have just fallen away.
Good. And now ask those angels and light people to go back to lives previous to Junine and bring forward any particles that are separated from the soul from all those lifetimes. There might be a lot of them. Bring those forward, cleanse, heal, and find forgiveness, and then reunite them so the soul can be completely whole. No fragments left behind.
That's feeling good.
That's feeling really good, huh? All right. So now ask the angels and light people to please bring that whole soul and all that means, all that healing, forward through any other lifetimes between Junine and Tansy, all the way up to the present moment, and cleansing, healing, and forgiving and reuniting any other particles between those lifetimes.
Okay. It was, I really felt a lot of sadness during that process.
And that sadness, where did it come from?
I think, it was kind of like I was feeling like my soul was like moving through the lifetimes, and it was just, so many of them were permeated with this sadness that it was like picking it up as it went along and sort of swirling it away in its own light. It was like this foundation to these lives of sadness.
You felt that as it moved up through it. Did it do the healing to the sadness also?
I think so, yes.
Well, let's ask the angels and light people. Explain to them, I felt all the sadness as my soul was coming through. Has that part been healed for me?
They're saying yes, but the memory is so strong that I'm experiencing the memory as I'm passing through.
That will not carry into the sadness part. That will not carry heavily into Tansy's life. Is that correct?
No, not now.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. We don't want that. And you can ask them now. See, Tansy wanted to experience this life today because she wondered why she always felt apart and alone. Did we experience that enough in Junine's life to answer her questions?
Well, I can definitely see they're saying that this is kind of where much of it started, because of always wanting to be something other than what I could be because of my gender and my place in society. So always kind of trying to push those boundaries, and that placing me in positions where I really was not in sync with my peers or my family or the society that I moved in. I sort of became an outsider because of that.
So does that answer why you have the feeling in this lifetime? Does that settle that answer for you? I guess I want to know.
In part, it does, yeah. There's a part of me that wonders, well, why would that carry over? Why? I mean, because I guess I think that maybe different experiences carry over into different lives that we live. And so what is it about this experience that needs to be here for this lifetime? And that is what I'm not really sure about, except that the pattern of my life has definitely been like Junine's, where I haven't really fulfilled my gender obligations and, other things. I haven't done what was expected of me.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You are in the perfect place to ask that question. Ask the angels and light people what you just explained to me.
Okay, it's interesting. They're saying that in the past, in many lifetimes, I've had a tendency to go my own way.
Mm-hmm.
And, but in this lifetime, I have that urge, that tendency to want to do that. But the challenge for me is to form loving and close relationships with people, even though there's that part of me that just wants to run away or just wants to be off by myself, and to try to learn how to integrate the two.
And is that what the goal is in this lifetime?
Yes.
To work on that? Yep. And do you know how to work on that?
I want to say by doing it, by committing to making the most of the relationships that I have and trying to deepen relationships and, be as present as I can be and not be listening to that voice or that part of me that is wanting to walk away, or feel separate, even though I'm not really separate.
So that feeling of separateness, ask if that was part of your life contract before you were born.
They're saying yes.
Ask if that can be renegotiated contract.
They're actually saying it could be.
Well, then ask them if they would do that now. And when
Okay.
they have done that, ask them to bring the new contract forward because you have to sign it, and we'll take care of it that way.
They sure are quick at modifying those contracts. They're very speedy. Think and it shall be done. Yeah, so they have modified that contract now.
And is that up to your approval?
Yes, it makes me very happy, that I don't, in this contract, I don't have to feel separate. It's still part of the contract that I have to learn to balance having close and thoughtful relationships with people that I value at the same time as feeling like I can maintain my independence. But I don't have to be separate and be apart and alone and peripheral from other people in order to do that.
Yeah, cool. It sounds like you got what you wanted, so sign that contract.
I'm signing it.
Yeah, there you go. And they will give you a copy, and they will keep a copy, and you can put that into your heart and mind. And now, if you will ask, would it be beneficial if they took you to the healing temple?
They're saying, yeah, that would be a good thing.
Okay, then let them take you there now. And if you would describe it to me, I'm always curious.
Well, somehow they've put me on a little boat on a river and like a canoe, and we're sailed down this little river to a pavilion, and it's made of very bright white stone, almost like marble, and it's got, big columns, almost looks Grecian, in architecture. And inside of that, there's like a circle with a big fire in the middle, and there are couches placed around the fire, and they tell me to position myself on one of those couches, which I do, and this circle is surrounded by these columns, and then at the top of the column there's I want to say it's like a pyramid of glass, and somehow that pyramid reflects and directs healing energy into this area where you lay next to the fire.
Mm-hmm. And now explain to me, are those pyramids on top of the column, are they with the big side down or with the pointy side down?
The pointy side is up.
Pointy side is up.
Mm-hmm.
Some people experience the other way, but
Interesting.
that's why I always ask, because it's so interesting. And so how does it feel to receive this healing energy?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, there's all this warmth coming from the fire, and I feel completely comfortable in my position. And then, there's light, just nice light sunlight coming down through this glass pyramid. But at the same time, there's also like a stream of multicolored light that when it comes through the pyramid, it sort of separates into particles and swirls and sort of mingles with the flame from the fire as it's going up. And the little sparks from the fire and little particles from this swirling light spread out over me as I'm lying on this little bench or sofa next to it. And it's all very warm and comforting.
Nice. I'll wait for you as long as you need to experience the healing. Just let me know when you're done.
I think I'm done now because the light is kind of making me stand up.
Picking you out, huh?
Yeah, they are, but it feels fine.
Okay. Ask the light people if it would be beneficial for you to go to the library or the Hall of Wisdom.
Well, they're saying might not be a bad idea. I've never been there, and I'm a curious sort. So
They taking you then?
okay, so they put me back in my little canoe, and now we're going upriver, and we're going through a tunnel, and now we're in a dark cave, and the walls of the cave have all these sparkling crystals sticking out of them as we pass through. And we get to a wide open space. It's still within the cave, but it's like more like a built environment. And there's all these shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of books and aisles that are carved into the stone. Sort of like, I don't know, little hanging candles from everywhere to, oddly enough, supply enough light, to actually be able to see.
Mm-hmm. Does it go up very high?
Yeah, I can't even see how high up it goes.
Yeah. It's all contained within the cave, or is there no opening to the sky?
At the very, 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 very top, far, far away, there's a little opening that some light is shining through.
Interesting, yeah. So what do they want to show you here? What's good for you to see?
Well, they're walking me over to one of the shelves, and there's a old leather-bound book with vellum pages that they're pulling out for me to take a look at.
Are you able to read it, or do you just is the knowledge just sent to you?
Well, there's like pictures and symbols in it. There's not really words, but they tell me if I place my hands on the pages that I'll absorb what I need to know.
That's cool. So go ahead and do that if you like.
So I'm doing that. And I have a sensation of there's something going on in my palms. There's definitely something happening, like some tingling and, like something's happening energetically, but I don't really know what's being imparted to me.
Will that be something that will come to you later? You can ask if you like.
Yes, they're telling me that this is going to help me with my new contract.
Okay. You need help with your new contract.
I do need help with my new contract, yeah. And this will help me, they say.
I'm glad for that. We needed that. So go ahead and take as long as you need there, and let me know when you think.
Ushering me back to the boat now.
Okay. Where else would be good for you to go? I assume that was the library.
That was the library, yeah. But there's another space. If you go down this little tunnel to the side of the library, there's another space that leads outside. And there's actually more books out there. It's like a big, wide open plain. It's filled with light, and you can't even see to a horizon. It's just a big, almost like
on and on.
On and on and on, and there's a lot of shelves and aisles of books out here too. But there's also off to the left side, close to where the water is, there's a little garden, and they want me to go into this garden, and there's a single rose growing there that they cut for me, and they give me this rose to take with me.
And what's special about the rose? What does that mean for you?
I have always had roses that appear in my dreams. I don't grow roses. I don't particularly love roses or anything like that, but it does tend to be a recurring symbol for me, and it reminds me a lot of my aunt, my father's sister, who I remember when I was a kid, she would sit with me for hours and teach me how to draw roses. So I think there's something about them that makes me feel connected to my family.
Is your aunt going to visit you there in the garden?
No, there's no one else there but me.
Are you allowed to visit with her in this world?
No, she's gone on to another life.
Okay. I wonder if you ask, since your aunt has gone on to a new incarnation, is there a chance you'd meet her again?
Yeah, they say that I will, but not in this lifetime.
Well, in a different lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who in this lifetime have you shared a past life with?
Well, several people. My grandmother is coming to mind, and I'm actually remembering a dream with roses and her, so maybe there's something there about the rose. But my grandmother and my godson is another one. And a close friend of mine and her husband and my sister-in-law have all been with me in other lifetimes.
Can you ask about the rose symbol? Why the symbol comes up in your dreams? And maybe indicates something, maybe some kind of message within a dream.
It's something about immortality. The rose, for me, seems to have something to do with immortality, because whenever I dream about it, it's always in conjunction with being outside of this life, like being in another dimension, or like with the dream about my grandmother, in that dream, her coffin is in some otherworldly place, and all these rose petals are swirling around it, so it has to do with continuity and sort of transcendence, bridges, between dimensions, I think.
When they give you the single rose today for you, what meaning does it have?
It's a reminder that help is always available from the other side and that I'm not alone. Wow, that this transcends, that I transcend this lifetime that I'm in.
And since you're not alone and you have transcendence, how can you communicate with your angels and guides and spirits that have gone before you? How can you communicate with them in this life?
Well, what's coming to me is to use that rose symbol. And when I want to receive some communication, to go into a quiet space, maybe a meditation, and to carry that rose with me with the intention of making contact.
So the rose can also be that bridge.
Yes, like a conduit.
Yes, and so are they encouraging that type of communication?
Yeah, they think that's a good idea.
Yeah. What can they do when you communicate regularly with them? What can they do for you or with you?
They say that they're talking to me, that I tend to be somewhat skeptical, and that, like you were talking about earlier, experiencing like a past life, it's easy to think I'm just making it up or imagining it. But that if I could make communicating with them more a part of what I do on a regular basis, I can begin to understand what reality really is and let go of the skepticism and be open to what my experience has to teach me rather than what my thinking has to teach me.
Yeah. So your thinking mind, they're telling you, sometimes you overthink spiritual things.
Yep, exactly.
And you should be asking them instead of your critical mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to learn that too. I get it completely. So what other things, where else would they like to take you? Where should they take you that I don't know to ask for?
They just want to take me upriver a little bit further.
Okay.
So we're heading up there, and now we're kind of in a grotto. This is like a deep pool of water, but it's this very, very peaceful place. There's water lilies floating on the water, and, again, it's partly got those rock walls with crystals growing out of them. And there's little pathways or archways, all around that can lead to different places. And they're telling me that this is a place that I can go to where I can take safe adventures, to learn new things.
Ruffians beating you.
Yeah, without ruffians beating me up. There's more to learning and understanding and knowing than is experienced through my physical body and in the material world. So they say that, if I get in my habit of using the rose to communicate with them, that when I do that, I can also hop in this little canoe and go up to the grotto. And that can be a place for me to relax, but also a place for me to explore places that would be beneficial for me to learn from.
Sure. And when you get to the grotto, like when I ask you to go to the hall with all the doors, I ask you to search for the one with a light. That was your signal that this was the experience for you today. When you go to the grotto by yourself, how will you know which archway is the best experience for you that day? Ask them to explain to you.
They say that when I arrive, the best one for me to go through will be one where one of the crystals that is jutting out of the rock is lit up from within.
So one of the crystals will light up for you.
Yep.
Cool. I'm making note of that. And through this new way to communicate and this new way to have adventures through the grotto, is this going to give you any, talents or abilities that you have not had before?
Possibly. Yeah.
What
or
do they say about it?
They're telling me that there are so many areas in my life where I'm already curious and learning and expressing my creativity, that the grotto will be a means for me to enhance that or expand upon it or come up with new ideas more than necessarily coming up with learning something entirely new to me, but more expanding upon where I'm already trying to grow and learn.
Yeah, a place to go that will take you to the next level of things you're curious about.
Exactly, yep.
Nice, nice. Is there any other place that you should go that I don't know about, but they feel would benefit?
No, they're saying they were glad that we came and that I now have a method for more direct communication and a way to sort of satisfy that urge I have to be taking off on adventures, in a way that isn't running away, from other people or, putting a wall between myself and them in some way.
Or costing you money that you need to live.
Exactly.
All those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very cool. I lost my train of thought, what I was going to ask. Oh, I know. I just wanted to express my love and gratitude to all of them for caring for you all these years, giving you inspiration, and helping us on this journey today.
Me too.
And when they decide they have no more to show you for today, you can let me know.
Yep, they've sent me on the boat, and it's actually heading back down to my little room with the blue light.
Nice. Okay. And as you go on the boat and arrive back at the room with the blue light, I'll ask that Junine's, your higher self, your angels and light people, any guides that were helping us, and your own Tansy personality meld back together as one. And let me know when that's done.
Yep, we've all spun ourselves up in a little ball.
All right. So at 0, you could slip a little deeper. At 1, begin to notice your physical body as it sits in the chair. At 2, reorienting yourself to the room around you, the sounds of life, and your pretty cats. At 3, take a deep, deep breath, or becoming very alert. And 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake.
Wow.
That was a fun journey.
That was totally unexpected, but that was fantastic.
I like how descriptive you could be in that lifetime. I could totally picture it.
Well, I'm very, very visual. I figured I might be a good candidate because I do have pretty vivid dreams. Wow, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you came on today. I felt like, here's what happened. I had several guests lined up, and things just did not fall into place for several. And so I was to a place where I didn't have an episode for Wednesday. And usually I would be pretty nervous and panicked about that, but I felt completely calm. And I felt like when you wrote to me, I thought, that's exactly, she said to me, this is going to be a great episode. And it certainly was. And finally, we're a lot alike. I tend to isolate myself. I tend to feel separate and apart always. And, yeah.
Well,
a lot of this rang true for me.
Yep, that struggle for independence and the ability to express yourself with being close to other people. And, it seems like we often learn that it's either or. You can't have both.
Yeah. Or sometimes it's like her social life in France. It's a chore. It's like a chore.
Totally.
and I often don't have so much in common in these social situations with others. And so, yeah, it rang true to me. So I need to do the same as you. I need to develop these friendships based on those who we seem to have common ground.
Yeah, where you can nurture each other and, be friends on the path wherever you're going. And they can respect your need to periodically go off and curl up in that chair in your little room.
Yeah, I don't want to do that every day, but it's not good for me. And, my husband, because I'm introverted, he's very extroverted, and that's good for both of us.
Well, it seems like people often pair up that way.
Well, that's your best pair, is your complete opposite.
Well, there you go.
You admire things in him that you don't feel good at. He admires things in you that he doesn't feel good at. And so you complement each other. Yes, absolutely. Wow. Very inspiring today, Tansy.
Well, thank you. What was for me, too. I'm excited about this, and Looking forward to hearing more sessions from you in the future.
Great. Thank you very much.
They might decide they'd like to try it too.
I'd love it.
Okie dokie.
It was fun to see your cats too.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to prevent them from bouncing around.
I laughed when the one came across it.
Huh?
And I thought, I just went by so fast I couldn't tell her face. Hi. Yeah, very cool. A lot of fun today. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Angie. It was great to meet you. I'm going to be thinking about this one for quite a while.
Tansy had a cool session today. I love the support she was given in the spirit world. She was shown the way to connect back to it and expand her life through the connection and meditation. The rose was a cool symbol that was revealed to her as a conduit to this learning. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider supporting Past Life Travelers by leaving a review, sharing with friends, and checking out our sponsor. Your support helps us bring you more content like this. Remember, you never know if what you discover in a past life can impact this life. Past Life Traveler is a Hearn audio production. Hey, Hearn!
What?